A very good morning and welcome to class. Welcome to another video of public revenue. And today we are going to talk about the goods and service tax, GST. First, to understand the meaning of the word goods, service, and tax. What does each word mean? Goods means anything which can be touched, can be seen, is called goods. Example: the mobile phone in your hand is a good. You can touch it, you can see it. Is a good. Services which can't be seen, which can't be touched, but can be felt. The service of a teacher, the service of a lawyer, the service of a chartered accountant. You cannot see them, but you can feel them. The third is tax. What is tax? Tax is a legal and compulsory payment which is made by the individual to the government. Government may be state government or the central government. Tax is a legal and compulsory payment to be made by the citizens to the government. Another fact about GST is it was implemented on 1st July 2017. 1st July 2017. Now the remarkable word over here is 1st July. Why was it chosen on 1st July only? The reason is 1st July is in India is celebrated as CA Day, or you can say Chartered Accountant Day. Chartered Accountant Day. So it was a gift from the Finance Minister to all the chartered accountants of the country that we are going to have one tax, that is GST. And the slogan of GST is One Nation, one tax. Okay, there should not be many taxes, but rather they should be clubbed into one head and should be made one head. If clubbed into one head, it should become one tax. That is why it has come with the GST. Before we come to the different types of taxes which were imposed, we'll understand how the taxation system is categorized. The whole of the tax structure in India is categorized into two parts. One is called direct, the other is called indirect. We are in a position, we now know this, what is the direct tax, what is the indirect tax. Because in all the previous classes, we have discussed the direct and indirect taxes, merits, demerits, and the differences between both. Today we are not going to talk about that. Today we are going to see indirect tax. Why is that GST is put under indirect tax? See, prior to GST, when GST was not there, some taxes like sales tax, entertainment tax, VAT, value added tax, then you have excise duty, then you have custom duty. All these were under the category of indirect taxes. These are some few examples only. There are many, 17 taxes are there together. 17 taxes together form an indirect tax. Now, for an individual, it was a burden if a person stands to pay for all the taxes. Let's say, let us assume that Mr. A has to pay all the 17 types of taxes. That means he needs to visit 17 departments of the government and he needs to pay. Or he can hire an advocate, a legal advocate who is called an income tax advocate or a tax expert who will charge a fine, who will charge a amount according to the category of taxes. Okay, means one person, if he pays the 17 taxes, he has to pay 17 times the same amount to the expert, to the advocate. So, just to mitigate this, the government clubbed this all into one head and it gave a name. The name is GST. GST. It can either be goods or services. We pay the taxes for either goods or services only. Nothing else apart from this. That is why government came up with the word that is GST, goods and service tax. So all 17 can be paid all at once if you visit the GST portal, GST forum. Okay, and the person who pays, let's say income tax advocate or the tax consultant or the tax expert, he will not charge 17 times for the same thing, but rather he will charge one time only, because at one go only he is doing all the work. So that is GST. Now next is categorization of GST. How is GST categorized? 4 rates are there. First is 0%, second is 5%, third is 12 and 18, both are kept together only, and the last is 28%. These are the 4 categories of taxation structure in the GST system: 0%, 5%, 12 and 18%, and 28%. See, 0% includes exempted one or the goods which are required by all, even the poor person requires. Okay, which is required by all, even a very poor class requires. For example, vegetable. Vegetable will fall under the category of 0%. 5% is one which is widely used. Which is widely used. For example, I'm writing TT over here. TT means train ticket. Okay, don't say ticket collector or something. 5% means widely used. So you can say ticket, train ticket. Train ticket is used by the middle class or the lower class. So this falls under the category of 5%. Means when you purchase a ticket, 5% of tax amount will be charged by the government. Next is 12 and 18%. This is basically convenient goods. Convenient goods. Convenient goods are those goods which provide a convenient, which provide a help to you. For example, the mobile phone that you have, that is a convenient source of convenience for you, that falls under the category of 12 and 18%. The last is 28%, that is luxurious goods. Luxurious goods. Under this, all those things which actually provide luxury to the individual falls under the category of 28%. Example is AC, air conditioner, high model car, jewelry items, costly paintings, all these fall under the category of 28%. Means these are things which if a person is not given, he will not die, he will not suffer. But rather, just to make his life more easier, more comfortable, the individual uses these services, he has to pay more taxes. And the rate is 28%. Now, next is how is GST categorized? Division of GST into 3 levels. CGST, SGST and IGST. What is CGST? It's a central GST. SGST is state GST and IGST is interstate GST. Now understand what is this. Central GST is when you purchase something, anything, like for example medicine, you go to a medicine shop and you purchase a medicine. Suppose the name of the medicine is XYZ, okay, and the amount is, let's say, 1000. Okay, when we come to the taxation part, it will be categorized into two parts. 9% as CGST and 9% as SGST. Okay, means 18% of 1000 will be additional paid to the government by the individual. 18% amount will be added on the MRP. 1000 plus 18% of 1000 will be added to the bill, and the customer has to pay this. Out of this, 9% will go as CGST, the central government will take it, 9% will be taken by the state government. Okay, that is about CGST and SGST. Now, the next one, what is IGST? What is IGST? IGST means when there is a transaction between two states. When two states enter into a transaction, when two states involved in a transaction, then there is the amount charged, that is called as IGST. Like for example, if a good is supplied from Bihar, let's say to neighboring state Odisha. If Bihar supplies a good to Odisha, Bihar to Odisha, or for Odisha, okay. Suppose Bihar government, not to reach to Odisha government, has to pass on from three states. Suppose Bihar government, when the goods are taken from here, in order to reach to Odisha government, three states are touched. That means in the process of reaching to the final destination, this vehicle of Bihar government touches the three states. That means it is somewhere down the line using the resources, using the goods, using the what you call roads or the services of other three states without giving them any benefit. For that only, since we use the resources of three states, when no benefit is granted to such a state, government has come up with the IGST. The moment the Bihar vehicle will touch another state, it has to pay a tax, and that is called IGST. So this is all about the GST part. Now, since the video is getting lengthy, but I'll take some more time. Okay, anyway, one more video I'll make on the other taxes authorities, other taxes structure. Thank you, class.